chase success with Global.Media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne.
Hello, Miss Haleh. How are you doing?
I am such a joy. So joyful.
You are
good evening, Lord.
you are a joy. I say that for sure. And you are funny as well. So I give you that, right?
And being here with you makes it even more joyful. So thank you for having me. God, that means they just got me going.
Thank you for agreeing to come out to be our special guest on Any Spotlight today. For those who don't know what this show is, it is purely selfish, of course. I'm glad you're here. But I'm more glad Haleh is here because this is the show where I get to just laugh for the duration of the show. So to do that, I need my guests to be funny. I need my guests to be themselves. And there's no one funnier than Haleh. I assure you. If you know who she is, then by all means, do come and share with us your funny stories about the superstar called Haleh, right? I can't get over it. For a long time, I was debating how do I pronounce the name, Haleh. And then she's like, just call me Hallelujah. I'm like, I get that. See, that's how funny she is. But no, this lady has many funny stories that we're gonna get to enjoy in the next hour or so. I'm not sure we're gonna have enough time really, but let's not worry about it, right? I'll relax about our time and let's just learn to laugh and enjoy our day, right? So Haleh, please tell us, what do you do? How do you help, my friend?
Thank you. So right now, as you say, I'm in the outer space, right? So I'm here in space with you guys in the same universe and the same matrix, I think, right? I mean, I don't know which dimension I'm in. I mean, anyone.
I tell you why I laugh because I told them that you live in a different dimension, and they thought I was joking. But I'm not. Just nice. You told yourself. We're not joking. Haleh lives in a Haleh planet that no one has. Has anyone been there before?
Join me. Just hop in and let's see which dimension you want to go to, and we'll go there together. How about that? We'll choose the matrix you want to be in, and it's all your choice. You see, everyone is that powerful. But I woke up one day, I was 7 years old, and I literally thought, us humans, I felt different. I felt like I don't belong in this universe. And the funny thing was, I thought my parents aren't even my parents, or they could be in multiple different places. So I had this knowing at a young age, and it stayed with me. So that was, I believe it was age 7, not mistaken, around that age. And I just lived that life. Now, don't get me wrong. I did have major job in a multi-million-dollar company as a paralegal, legal secretary, executive assistant. But that was my other dimension. So I was in this dimension in my own universe, living into that us humans can live way beyond like 200 plus years in an optimal health. And I mean, optimal health, so you and me and anyone has that ability, but we got to know it and feel it. So that's the universe I'm coming from.
There's a lot more on what Haleh does.
Okay, I'll get into the
your resonance quantum thing. What's that?
Yes, I'll share about that. So basically, on the side, I was living in 2 different dimensions. On the side, I was impacting lives and touching lives because what I did was a health span coach. And that is basically it's body, mind, and spirit. So if one of it falls apart, nothing aligns. Your life will not be in alignment. For example, if you have a body ache or a pain, I relate that to what is that thought pattern that was going on with you? How were you feeling on the subconscious mind? And that will actually connect to all the cells and organs of our well being. So that was fascinating for me. I carried that on with me, and I got to meet the greatest minds and scientists, such as healing the C word. And I became more fascinated and researched and got to know more. And the more I got to know, the more I felt I don't belong in this other corporate world that I lived. And that was my other body living in that corporate world. But meantime, I was living in this other world, doing all these quantum physics and the strategies, the skill sets. So here I am living in two different lives. And when I wasn't jumping into the other dimension, living my holistic life, I would hit traumas. I'll just take you guys down the path of it was 2011. Let's time travel to 2011. One regular morning. At that time, I worked in the very famous hospital cancer center. It was, my God, it was January. I heard the alarm go off, and I hit the alarm button to get up and fast go to work. I had to be at work because if I was late by the minute 3 times, I was out the door. I would get fired, and I needed to financially survive. So I couldn't get out of bed. I was bedridden for 3 months. I had to be carried to the restroom. So what did I do? They tested me. They did a live blood analysis. I don't know if you guys have heard of live blood analysis. So they poked me and they took my blood from the finger under the microscope. They did the dry blood and the live. They saw that my white blood cells were off the chart. They had no idea what's going on with me. So they blamed it on my back, which that's a story by itself. In my 20s, I was in a domestic violence, physical abuse. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm good. So that was because of that. So they were blaming that. So they didn't know, with all the respect, the medical field had no idea what's going on with me. As I said, I'm not from this space. So basically, that research got more in depth and more in depth. So I got to know more about our well-being. I got out of bed in 3 months, and I feel like I'm 20 every day ever since. So that's why I do what I do as a health span coach, and not, it's a well-being. It's not just your health. It's everything together. Any questions so far? Should I just continue?
Yeah, that's. I said I'm wondering where I want to go next, and I said I probably want to go backwards a bit.
Okay.
Right. How does someone live in 2 dimensions? Just what does that feel like? And again, I know you're not joking. I know you've been very serious.
Yes.
I say you've been doing. You've had this belief since you were 7. I'm saying, how does it work?
I'll tell you that I got actually a confirmation. So I'll share that part. I got a confirmation. It was in 2020. It was May 2020. It was Mother's Day when my dad crossed over. I got a confirmation from him because he literally talked to me in my dream. And this is not a woo-woo. Literally, he came and spoke with me with something that I needed to do, that I needed to continue, and I needed to get out of the corporate world. So I call it the other dimension. I had to call it call that to the side. And he gave me this book. And that's why I said different dimension. And it was, You Are the Universe, the Master Creator. I needed to do what I do as an entrepreneur. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I've never in my life have been an entrepreneur. How am I going to step into this? For me, it was just a normal act that I was doing on the side, living this life. I wasn't like, it's not a business or anything. It's just who I am. Now, put my corporate job aside, so I was in shock, but I had to pursue that because that was, that was my purpose here. And that was the reason that I'm still alive. I would have been dead in the domestic violence and so many other traumas that had happened to me. But I'm here to live this dimension on the quantum physics, because at that time when I was living the two different lives, I wasn't meant to live two different lives. And that's why I was shut down in bed 3 months, that I couldn't even move or walk. And I knew I had to carry this. I'm 56 and I've never, ever been on any medication. And don't get me wrong, medicine has its time and place. But for me, as a diagnosis of autoimmune, of Hashimoto, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, I refused because I knew it's just the knowing, it's just that embodiment, that feeling that I am not meant to take any medication. And the body is so powerful that it can heal itself. And that was my knowing. So I moved forward with that. And I got out of bed in 3 months. But you got to really feel it, because if you doubt it or question it, and whatever that spiritual God, whatever it is for you, if you trust it, you pray on it and know it. Because where there's love, there's no fear. Where there's fear, there's no love. So that was my belief. That was my knowing. So I carried myself forward with that. There was, people thought, what is she doing? People thought I'm crazy, or people thought I don't belong in this universe. So I always felt out of place, I still think that we're in a matrix. Don't get me wrong. I still believe that this whole thing is a matrix. And you are so powerful that you can create the life you want. There's a science and research based on saying our thoughts actually the DNA can be changed by our thoughts. Dr. Bruce Lipton emphasizes on that. So that's to show I'm not crazy. But
I think when it sounds like, I suppose, the reality of our world in one sense. And I think that as someone who practices mindset, I can understand how we can take it that what we see is not real. Because we create our own reality. If we see a problem, then it's a problem, right? If we see an opportunity, right? That's different to being an alien like you, Haleh. That's very different to being
we're all aliens. We're all aliens. Now there's a good alien, there's a bad alien. But it's like if you focus, seriously, I'm not green though or gray. But
I don't know. There's a reason why I say I don't know, but we'll come to that in a minute, so it's fine.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, please carry on. So now, are you speaking from the mindset, or even the spiritual world? Are you talking about? Are you talking the matrix? The matrix being there's different game being played that we're part of over there in the other dimension.
Right. And I always say, as a matrix, there are no spoons. And I don't put my hand through the mirror, but let me tell you, I don't catch bullets, but I'll tell you this much, that what I always say, the moment we open our eyes, we're gods and goddesses creating this universe. So if we're going to focus, let's say, on a red car, And when we go out there, we're going to see red cars automatically. It's like your thoughts. We need to know how powerful we are. And we've just been programmed. It's just the programming that we are carrying on this universe. And that programming is basically you're the computer and you can be controlled and you have the remote control. But if you allow others to do that, they can easily control that. So if you ask others for answers and different opinions and stuff, your body, your being changes. It's very deep what I'm saying, but and it takes practice that we can create it. But if there's a single thought in the subconscious mind that can create that. For example, I'll give you an example. When I was in bed in January 2011, there was a point that my whole life turned upside down, because at that time I was living a holistic lifestyle. I was athletic, I was fit, and everything was great. And I was happy. I even did yoga every day. I hiked, I had to train. So, and positive. I had a really well job, but on the subconscious, it wasn't there. I was right there in bed, and my throat chakra, the voice around my throat, was shut because I couldn't say a word or I would get fired. So that created me to be bedridden and diagnosed with an autoimmune of a Hashimoto, that nowhere in my genes anyone has that. And the body created it because I was asking constantly to be out of that hospital, because that is not where I belong. It's not in alignment with what I'm doing in this other dimension as a holistic being impacting lives. So all of that is showed at that time in 2011. Now, for others, it could be when they get old, they'll blame it on old age, or some other incident happens and they blame it on the incident. But as we see, we're frequencies creating that. And whatever you ask, that's what I said, you're a spiritual being of you. You got to trust it, ask it, and you will. I say God provides for you. That's just what I got to say, because whatever that God is for you, that light within us, you just have to trust it. You just have to feel it and move forward with that. It gets really deep. And one of the methods that got me out of the bed, which I'm certified as, cell resonance quantum. That's why I said the cell resonance quantum coach, because it went back into the DNA. Besides that, my throat being shut and I couldn't say anything to these patients of what I knew. But also, when you're in that womb of your mother, here's another example. Let's say she's got amalgam filling, the mercury all around her mouth, that gets transported into your being, So this can go really, really deep.
Well, look, as long as my friends know that you believe. Like, let me welcome George. Welcome, George. Thanks for joining us. I don't know if you're Haleh's friend. If you're not, then I said after the event, go to the comments page, go to the event page, the comment section, and do connect with her for sure. There's many reasons, apart from her craziness, there's many other reasons to connect with Haleh, right? I mean, she'd invite you into her plane. What she does.
I'm still on this planet,
Just about. I mean, no one knows, how close we came to disaster today. And if you're wondering why, Haleh couldn't find her plane background. It's just like, I can't find the background. The one I've got is the wrong one. I'm like, no one's ever not done my event because of the background. There's only backgrounds. Haleh, she's like, no, I know her. Every time I met her, she's always in this plane, right? Always. And so I can see her saying, I'm not coming because No background, not coming. I was like, damn. It's not that bad, Haleh. It's not that bad. It's not that. It's only a background, right? Now, my friends know. Yeah, so anyone else who's here, so do drop us a comment. So I'd love to welcome you properly. I can see you're here, but I can't see who you are. So say something. Say hello. Say where you're joining us from. Say something. Even ask Haleh a question if you want.
Yes, I'm here for any questions. Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about your networking. I know where we're going to go with the conversation, but so your networking. Tell me. I mean, is the craziest networking there ever has been? Yeah, it's
right. I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, I wasn't planning actually to do a networking because it's different than what I do, but I'm constantly introducing people, and I love people. I like connecting, and I'm a people person. So I'm like, okay, what happened one day after my own event, my own workshop, I liked connecting people. I like to give the space for people to connect with each other because I don't want it to be all about me and here I am doing my workshop and buy my stuff. I want people to interact. I love communities. And I saw, oh, people really enjoy that connection. Therefore, then I'm also part of another community that does these 30-minute networking. It started from this community I'm in. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and create the speed networking, which is only 30 minutes and no speakers or anyone. So you just go back to back, really fast pace, like speed dating into a room and for the whole 30 minutes. And when I wasn't just thinking about it, I was just enjoying it. I was having a blast with it. It was New Year's Eve, and I thought, oh my God, there's 30 people here. And then it was Christmas Eve, 40 people, because I'm all about consistency. No matter what day it falls, you just move forward being persistent and consistent. So it's on Tuesdays, so it fell on New Year's and Christmas Eve. And then I had a full room. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And it carried on. And that energy and all that, whatever you want to call it, the craziness, it grew, and the room kept growing. And now I'm at the point that I max out the room every week, and I have a wonderful co-host that co-hosts with me as well too. So it's been a blast. It's fun. It's a fun ride. It's not about my coaching. It's about playing and getting that community, the connection. So it's fun and business at the same time.
Yeah, and there's no better combination than that, is there? Really? I'll say to you, the one that I joined last week or week before, and I was just like, this is just mad. There's of course, once you say the full room, Zoom lets you have 100 people in a room, right, per event, and then it starts locking people out. And let me tell you, my friends, even amongst my meeting people, Zoom just kicks me off. It's like, the room's too full. There's no space for you. I'm like, I'm here already, and Zoom's like, no, you're not in. You're not. So I was like, okay, I can't find something else.
And we do our best to remove the note takers because they come in and take the places. So we're
I can imagine. So that's I guess first world problem, right? That's a new thing. It's a new thing for us.
Exactly.
If you haven't tried it, it is networking on speed, literally. I know what speed is. I say networking on amphetamines, literally. I probably did 10 minutes. I think I did 3 different breakout rooms. So it's essentially, they split you up into breakout rooms. So you meet this group of people, and you meet the other. It's like, but the time for each breakout room is very short. So how long is it?
It's very short. We try to get at least 4 breakouts.
I never quite watched how long we had. I was sitting there, I'm like,
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
With the countdown.
Right, 5 minutes for 4 people. That's not a long. So by the time you say, I'm always calm. Right? I'm always like, I'm relaxed. I go all day, and they're like, they're getting on with it. They're saying who they are, what they do. I'm like, when it comes to me, I'm like, I want to ask you a question about what you do, and then suddenly this thing comes up and says, time to go back. It's like, well, here we go. It was. So I never met so many people in saying literally in 10, 15 minutes. And that's amazing.
But it gives them time to perfect their pitch. And also the best part is I created a strategy, which I put it also on this other platform, that they can get the whole contact. So this week we changed the system because I was getting bombarded with messages. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to strategize this and monetize it in a way that'll be easy for them to get the contact list. So now they get all the contacts. So whoever fills it out just once, all they have to do is just fill it out once, and they can go to this. It's free on this platform and just grab the contacts. Easy peasy.
So how do you monetize? I see you, Zara. Of course, I see you, my friend. I'll bring you on stage, especially if you want to ask Haleh a question. So let me take Haleh off central for now. Okay. So welcome, Zara. Welcome. So I'll work out how to get this recording to you. Anyway, meet Haleh. Meet my friend Zara.
Nice to meet you, Zara. Oh, that's a nice name. Am I saying it correctly, Zara?
Good evening, Haleh. Thank you so much. It's great to see you. And Annie was just like, he invited me. He said, "Come join us and let's celebrate." And Haleh.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Yes, it's more fun. The more people, the more merrier. Zara, that name is so unique. I love it, and I thought my name is unique. I love it. Where is it from originally?
I'm from. Long story short, Haleh, I'm from. I know you have been inviting me in your last events, and I saw your messages. But because of life from Pakistan, Lahore, it's like it's like from that part of the world where people have that stereotype of image and like struggles and so many other things. But it's not like that. It's so much fun here, and but yes, you have to cope up with the things, keep things in the flow. You have to, and plus that cultural intelligence we follow here. So it's a little bit different. But Annie, thank you so much for having me here, and let's celebrate Haleh.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for joining us, my friends. If you ever want to interject or ask a question, feel free, man. Feel free. Look, there's many people here, but I don't know. There's a problem with StreamYard and LinkedIn today, and so I've just looked on the LinkedIn event page. So let me welcome Mr. Omar, Mr. Zoom Party. I mean, it's worth knowing Mr. Omar and going to his game shows, especially if you want to win a prize. I went to these game shows, and yes, I flopped, but I enjoyed being there full, right? And people think I'm clever. I'm not. I'm just me, right? So I had this silly strategy of just busting it for every question, even when I didn't know the answer. It took me a while to realize that when you get the answer wrong, you lose points, and the others gain points. I'm like, but before I knew, I was way too far down to even come back, right? But no, so do get to know Mr. Omar. So Michael's here as well, Mr. Calm. Welcome, Dr. Philip. So welcome, sir. I'm glad you're here. So Dr. Lisa, our menopause dietitian expert. I'm glad she's here as well. She talks holistic health as well, Haleh, so you should get to know her. And Daniel, I see you. So Daniel is the one who helps us get into publications and podcasts. So this is a press release done. He's the one that I turn to for the sort of services because he has access to podcasts he can get you on, and also magazines and all the big ones. He's the one that you need to know. Of course, I see also Christy. Welcome. I thank you for all being here. If you've got any questions for Haleh, feel free. Otherwise, let me amuse myself. There's many more. There's many more things I'm going to talk about to really make myself laugh. Not at Haleh's expense, but with Haleh, really, right? Now, so Haleh, you're an author, right?
Yes, I co-authored, and both of them are Amazon's bestseller books. They're right here.
Congratulations!
Right here.
Why don't people get to see your books? People don't know you have a book. Please show us your book. Wave your book around as we always do, right?
Right. Well, I started with this one, and I co-authored this one. The author of the book is Cesar Spino, so that's him, and it says you can overcome anything with integrity. And this is where I shared my story, a chapter about how I got out of bed without anything. So how it happened. Now that book, this is what happened. Before I was planning to do what I'm doing as a full time and being an entrepreneur, I had the book. So, I started jumping before I started crawling, and I had no idea what's going on. Am I really doing this? Wait, I need the foundation. I need a ground. I told you I'm from outer space. So I needed a ground. So that's how this one came about. It was my first thing. And as a kid, I always wanted to write. I always wrote. And matter of fact, how I got out of the physical abuse, I would write nonstop to me and my own God, constantly writing. And in school, my English teacher would tell me, you need to pursue your writing, because I loved writing. So then I stopped it. I stopped writing until when my dad crossed over and I needed to write. And then this one came about, and this is another bestseller. This is my rough draft, but it's You Are the Universe, a Master Creator. So this one, I love this one. This was my own book. I made it brief. It's only 17 pages, and each page is just 1 to 2 easy reads, and then there's a place to ponder on. So it's about the person reading it. And that's the message and why I'm here, what I had to put out there. And I always say I have a mission to impact billions of lives. So I want to get that in the hands of everyone.
I love a small book. I've got, when you do what I do, when you do books, I get books every day, pretty much. And the big books, I'm like, oh no, it take me a lifetime to read that. But because I have to read them sometime, right? So
right.
I see my also friends eventually online. So it's some I see every day, pretty much. It's like, I haven't read your book. I can't say that. I have to say yes. Of course, I've read your book, right? So 17-page book. That sounds right up my. I can read that in about maybe I can read that in a day.
Yeah, it's so easy. This is just like such an easy book. Yes, and I get where you're coming from. I love books. I mean, I'm nonstop reading. That's my thing. It's like, just put books in front of me and I could. And I like tangible, yes, you can listen to Audible while you're driving and all of that.
Yeah. Now we're talking. So I say my trick these days is listening to books. Even ebooks I can listen to. So I have screen readers because it's just easier. I mean, I'm trying to read on paper. I'm trying. So I've probably got 4 books I'm working through.
Yeah,
I just like go.
Some books I like to highlight and write and do stuff with it. Like some books, it becomes a workbook. Some books you listen to. So it's just like your best friend. Books are my best friends.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much knowledge in there. So we can get your book on Amazon. Please share the link. My friends, don't try and scan that QR code behind her.
Oh yeah, that's what happened today.
It doesn't work, right? I can't help you. This is a cost of
That's what the tech thing didn't work with me today. So just ignore this. Just pretend this doesn't exist.
Yeah. I'm in case some people were trying. You're thinking, why is it going nowhere? It goes nowhere. It literally goes nowhere. Mine goes somewhere. You can buy my book from mine, right? So
on my link, I have the books on my link right there too. On my website, they can get it on there too. So it'll go directly to Amazon. Yeah.
So please share the links and share the link in our comments afterwards, or so when you get a chance. So I'm sure So
Yeah.
we'd love to know what new books are out there. So Rosemary, I see you. Say hello, everyone. Bag of Positivity joining from Nigeria. Welcome, my sister. Glad you're here. Okay, Haleh, you know, when someone spends 3 months in bed, how do you mentally get through that?
Well, I'll tell you how. Okay, I'll be transparent. I went into depression. Positive me actually went into depression. I really, because there I was all fit and everything, and now I'm like, I gained 22 pounds, and my muscles became flabby, and my whole life was just upside down, basically. And then people wouldn't hear you, people wouldn't understand you. And then it's like, what happened to her? You know, thank God my king, my husband stood by me. You know, I met him in 2008, got married in 2010. So in 2011, I was bedridden. So he stuck by me every step of the way and gave me that strength. And also my mom did. But sadly, a lot of people actually went away. They thought I'm crazy. But the best part was I know that we are never alone. Besides having my king, my mom, and I know that connection I have with the spiritual, the God within, my own God, I trusted and I had the knowing. So that carried me move forward, that we are never alone. Just ask. So I tuned in and I kept tuning in and not allowing the fear and the unworthiness, the self-doubt, put that aside. But it wasn't easy. You know, it took practice. You know, I went through the depression, and there was a time I said, oh my God, I don't want to live anymore. But, you know, I let that go because I practiced. So, and that's how, because you name it, I did. So many different practices, so many different technologies, and there's
go on. Now I'm intrigued. You know, so what crazy things did you try? Because I remember you saying you didn't take medication, you refused medication, so you really had to go alternative.
I went
how far alternative? How far did you push it?
I went to a lot because there was like, oh, go vegan, go raw, go vegetarian, do this and that. And I did it all, but that wasn't the answer for me. And then they said, use this technique, use this supplement, do fasting, oh my God, there's a healing center that we have here. And they got a lot of different technologies on the Tesla level. And I had to, and some of them were not from here. So I did try a lot of those technologies. So there's not one thing, there was different technologies that I did implement. But the main thing that worked was the cell resonance quantum healing. That really worked on the subconscious mind. First, you had to clear that. And then you had to detox the body from all the garbage, right? I live in California, and 30 ingredients that's banned in Europe are allowed here. So I'm getting our water, our soil, our environment is toxic, let alone, don't get me started, the nanoparticles and everything with the plastic, you know, coming down to the receipt we touch. So everything is toxic. But the main thing is clearing that subconscious mind, you know, that has a lot to do, you know, how you feel and how you're being, the love for yourself, how much love you have for yourself. And moving forward, that yes, nutrition had a lot to do with it, and not everything out there is good. Like they say, at that time, I remember, do green juices, kales, and all of that. Actually, that got me worse. A lot of the vegetables, they got oxalates. They got our body's enzymes don't digest that, and we're all different. We all have different fingerprints, and let's say that may work for someone else, and it may not work for someone else. So I had to find my own way, and finding my own method, techniques, and supplements, and earthing with the ground, with the earth, nature. There's a lot of different aspects depending where you're at.
Yeah, I was thinking where you're at. I mean, where you're at could be anywhere when it comes to Haleh, right? It could be any planet.
Right.
I suppose here's a question for you, and I wonder what your answer would be. How many versions of Haleh are there? How many versions of you are there?
Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I did 23andMe, so I don't know how many clones I have out there, to tell you the truth. But you can be, okay, this gets really deep. You can be anywhere you want in different dimensions. Now, this gets deep. There could be multiple. You decide where you want to be and how you want to live your life.
Wow. Well, I said I was going to be surprised. That is an astonishing answer to a question, right?
Wait. The best one is, because I used to think that, let me see what my dream means. I can interpret my dreams, and dreams have meaning. And a lot of people might hate me for saying this, because I know people interpret dreams and all of that. But let me tell you something. That's a version of you in a different dimension, living.
Really? That's what our dreams are. I guess.
Well, that's but everyone has that's what I'm saying. Not everyone agrees with what I say. You can take what you want and throw away whatever. Say I'm crazy, but
you can leave the rest, right? You can take what you want and leave the bits you don't like.
I used to be like that. That's what I'm saying. I used to believe in all of that stuff myself, but as life progressed, as I got into different aspects of life and learning, and keep in mind, I come from a revolution, from losing everything, and then from, my God, so many different aspects of my different experiences and traumas I've had. I'll just sum it up. That got me to this point. And I do understand the different aspects of where people are at, and I love and I respect all, but this is where I'm at. The more traumas, the more experiences you have, it's like you are in a different zone. And then you say there were disclosures with all the movies, Marvel, Matrix, so it's interesting. It's like, it makes life so much more enjoyable. That's what I say. Just enjoy. Be that kid playing every day, and the rest will flow to you. Because once you're in that passion, your creativity will expand. You'll expand, and everything will be created from that space.
Yeah, so it's deep, but it's weird,
deep.
Right?
It's deep.
It's weird. So Ashley, welcome. Great to see you. So the High Beautiful Spirit. Hopefully you know Ashley, right?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome, Ashley. So of course, do connect with my friends who are here and those who are not here. So just go in the comments afterwards. If you want to share any stories about Haleh, Ashley, feel free. You're more than welcome. Our time is going. Our time goes very quickly, right?
Oh my God! How did it become? Wow! I just looked at the time. I'm just here talking.
My life.
You know what? Another crazy thing is time does not exist. In this planet, it does, but time in
Are you sure? Time seems to govern my life, but I can't control it. That's one thing I can't control.
In this planet, it does. In this planet, it does. But there's no time and space in reality. If you talk to another dimension, as you were saying, there's a time and space that doesn't exist. Now we're in this planet, so it does exist. Yes. I told you it can get deep and crazy.
I say wow because it's I don't know. So what does that mean in terms of how we live, Haleh? What does that mean? What does that mean in terms of how you live?
Well, it's when you live it, then you attract people who are in the same alignment as you. So you don't become like I got people actually that are living right now. I can't even get a hold of them because they don't own the phone or electromagnetics because they say these are, in their words, they're weapons. So they want to be free because it's basically the minute they give you that social security, you're not yourself. Everyone owns you. But when
The
you become
Matrix. We're back
disattached,
to the Matrix, Haleh. We're back to the Matrix, right?
right, there you go. So when you don't own anything and you're free living and just being, that's the pure reality. And I have people who are living that life right now. And they're telling me, what are you doing on Zoom? Come and join us, you know? That's so
Do you tell them, I think you've lost your mind?
yeah, I'm like, I'm not there. I gotta come to this ground. I gotta be grounded here. You guys can go and live that life, but I'm
Thank
here.
goodness. Thank goodness. You don't want to be all the way out there, Haleh. There's planets, but stay in our galaxy within reason.
Yeah, that's why I'm just stay in this jet. I'm good here. You know, I have a ground I walk on.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was gonna say you're off Earth, but you're not really off Earth. You're different dimensions, which is just, I tell you, strangest thing. Oh well, Haleh, I'll leave you to be. Of course, you're happy in your joy, so that's a good thing, right? Now, Luz, I see you. Welcome. You're on LinkedIn, but I can't see you on my StreamYard yet. So maybe that's not going to happen today. Okay, so let's go to right. So Haleh, you mentioned your domestic violence experience more than once, right?
Right.
How did you get a way that will make us laugh?
Well, it was, my God, it was in my 20s, and I was in it in 4 years. And my God, I may go back to that timing. Basically, when people are in that situation, they only know what it's like when someone else says, oh, you're crazy, you need to get out. But you know, when you're in that situation, it's easy for someone else to say that, but when you're in that situation, so much stuff goes in your head. And only the person that is going through that, because it's their experience, they gotta come to themselves. So I came in myself, no matter all the other stuff I would hear, I would go within myself and ask for what I want. That's what I said. I kept on writing and writing and writing and ask for what I want. And if anything, I was triggered, I was worried. Let's say my head crushed against the wall and I needed to go get an MRI, I would do it on my own because you need to. I'm trying to make this easy to understand. The only thing that saved me was my asking with the higher power, the God, whatever that is, and not giving up. And know that the answer that you want will be reached. That's why I say you're that powerful, and trust and ask. Because a lot of people try to help in their own ways. But that actually is not, it wasn't helping me. I'll talk about myself. And one day, when the beat, it was really extreme. I'm like, I'm lucky to be alive. I don't want to get visual here, but I just walked out. I just like, you know what, left everything. And when you step in without a net, God will provide. And you'll be amazed how it'll be provided for you.
Mm.
The
No,
net,
so no,
the net will be provided because you put your trust and love in God. I mean, I don't
yeah,
want to
I
get
was.
spiritual, but I do believe that whatever that is, the higher power, it's just like letting go of that fear. Because
Yeah.
at the fear, he's going to come and attack. He's crazy. He's going to get my mom. He's going to kill this. And where am I going to go? I have no money. What am I going to do? But I let all of that go. After 4 years, it was time. And no, everyone has their own timing. I'm like, I've been writing to God. I've been praying, and it's going to answer.
Yeah, I mean, it takes belief and faith. That's in everything. Coach David is one who believes in divine inspiration, divine powers, and divine purpose. So he speaks the language for sure. Welcome, Coach David. If you want to add to the conversation, if you want to ask Haleh anything interesting that might make her reveal her truth, you never know. It might just falling off, right? So Haleh, look, we've got enough to talk about, and I said our time is short, right?
Oh, yes.
Genetics, Haleh, genetics. We're made of genes, 46 chromosomes and 46 chromosomes, right? Yes, no?
Genes, yes. Okay, definitely there's science, for frequency. I don't know if people know about.
Hold on. Genetics.
Yes, genetics.
So there are genes, right? There are. No, we're made of genes.
Yes, okay. Epigenetics, genes, and also I want to share a little point about this about frequencies. One of the other methods that I did was a biocharger. This machine is it's full of frequencies from Tesla. When you hold a light bulb that's not lit, like a regular light bulb, and you're next to this machine, it lights. So we are all frequencies. We are all energy being. So yes, it's genetics and all of that, but we can shift these frequencies based on our thoughts, and the DNA can be changed. And I needed to research this myself. That's why I said Dr. Bruce Lipton, that your DNA, your genes in time can be changed. It takes time and practice. It can be changed. So it's very, very powerful and fascinating the more you dive deep and research.
So how do we change our genetics? How do we change our genetics then?
I missed the question. What was it?
How do we change our genetics?
That's based on the thought pattern, and I would really recommend looking into Dr. Bruce Lipton. And it's basically your thoughts. What is it that you want to create, and practice being persistent and consistent and not giving up. Not like doing it 3 days and off one day and then back on the fourth day.
Clearly it didn't work. That's why I stopped doing it, right? I tried it for a day. It didn't work.
You have to be consistent and persistent. And for me, it took 4 years to get out, but I was consistent and persistent. Not a day went without me asking for what I want. And I created exactly what I want with my king here. But at that time, I left a lot of stuff out of it because that was my wanting at that time. Just be very detailed what you want.
Yeah, I hear you. Right. Well, do you have to go? Is that your alarm calling you? Haleh, we need you.
You heard the time. It's like, oh my God. I can't believe we're out of time because I'm enjoying this so much. I mean, when do I get to talk about all of this?
Just you. There's many more things that we haven't talked about.
Right? Living in this fantasy universe, right? Matrix.
Look, I feel like we can all do a part two. And I say that now my friends have met you.
Part two. Yes, we could do a part two, definitely.
Look, my friends, Haleh's, she's the person that you see, right? Always. That's a good thing. High energy. Always fun as well. And of course, very lively and out there is what I call it. Out there in outer space. But look, your health service, your health span service is not just supplements? How does it work?
Thank you so much. I usually love to take people to 3 months. That's why I say consistent and persistent, to see the results, the work, to get my motivation, my inspiration, to get you to where you want. So it's a 3-month package. They could do I mean, I do have an hour or all of that, but I'm saying the one that you want to be consistent and persistent to get you to that level you want is my 3-month coaching packages with HealthSpan with Haleh.
Okay, and so it's a coaching, and it's not. So I'm trying to work out. It's not just food or what you eat. It's more than that.
No. It's the whole thing, and I have a download that they can see what is included with that. So they'll see all the details, what is included. So basically, the first thing after we talk, after they're ready to take the action, I give them a consent to make sure they know I'm not a doctor. And after that consent, they get a questionnaire. And because each person is different, so I personalize it, I alter it to that person, to that individual.
Yeah, I know it's not just supplements. There's much more to well-being than what we eat. And you mentioned it. I want my friends to be clear. Your mindset is that's three quarters, if not 9/10 of the solution, really. Look, Haleh, thank you. You made me laugh and made me think. So that's what I ask. That's what I ask of you, really.
Oh, thank you.
What's the best way to contact you? Look, if you let me try and say this clearly, my friends. I guess I've realized in the last few weeks, when I've been more space in my diary, that there's networking events going on. Real networking. Now, Haleh is one with a difference. Her speed networking, her speed dating networking, and if you haven't tried it, do try it. The game is to meet more people. That's now. If you're in business, you need to meet more people. If you don't meet people, you're not going to find people who need your services. Of course, you want to find those who can help you as well, right? Networking is the way. And so I've started to see, and now I'm probably part of 4 or 5 networking groups now, which I wasn't 3 weeks now. I wasn't anywhere near. I wasn't in any of them a month ago. I'm saying don't look at networking and ignore the people thing. So I said go along to Haleh's networking for sure. There's many others. So the question for you, Haleh, is how do we get into your networking group? How do we get into your speed networking?
Definitely. Have them get in touch with me on LinkedIn, and I'll send the links to them. Because it's Tuesdays at 12 p.m. It's Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, and it's 12 to 12:30. It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah, every other week that works for me. So every other week doesn't work. So I have events at that time. So, but now do check it out, my friend. I'll share the link in the comments. Look, last I want you to quickly mention. What's a great discovery, Haleh? What's a great discovery?
In life, or that's a broad question. No.
TGD. Yeah, so you sent me
emails
about.
You're talking about
the great discovery. That's what it's called. Sorry, my friend. That's what it's called.
Right, I know, because the great discovery. I didn't know you were talking about the great discovery. Oh my God!
Tell them, Haleh. Tell them about the great discovery.
Oh my God. It's wow. First of all, it's not about the great discovery, because when I heard about it, I didn't even want to be part of this. It's the community I'm in. That is what's real, what's authentic. Like, read literally our family and hand walk you through that. When I wanted to do my Zoom thing, because I'm a people person. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't want to do any Zoom events. The leader, our team leader, we're all leaders, but the one that created this community among us, he hand like literally fed me by the spoon and was there 21 times doing it for me. Created everything from scratch, because he's a digital nomad, so he has all the methods, and he has millions of followers. So he literally did everything. So that community, that handholding, and that everyone supporting each other. It's not like others, oh, I'll show you, I'll take you. Literally is because of that community I'm in. I have my books on there. You can have membership. They have their own CR. It's one place for everything. And besides my own practice, the good thing is your own thing. It's not like an MLM or anything. It's you. It's your business, your brand on there. So you're growing your own business. So I just love it. I have, there's a membership on there. There's my books on there. There's my courses. You can be an affiliate. You could be a course creator, learner, and I tried not putting any of them down. I tried Kajabi. I had people from school go in, have this one, and I have my own CRM. But this is beyond anything else. So that's my little 2 cents on it. Thank you.
That's a great discovery. No, thank you so much, Haleh. Linda, welcome. Never too late. There is always team replay, especially on my YouTube, right? And so Luz says 95% of the things we fear never happen. Believe in yourself and the others. Explore new environments and new people. Luz probably the one that sent me to you, to several networking groups. So connected with Luz for sure. I'm sure if Luz hasn't been to Haleh's networking, she will definitely go along. She's a networker at heart. So by thinking different and positive, the outcome will be different and full of possibilities. Welcome, Miss Kim, legend Miss Kim. I was in her conference seminar end of last week. So amazing person. So do connect with her as well. Welcome, Miss Kim. So, wow, Haleh, maximum respect. You're very kind. Thank you so much. My friends, our time has come. One of my short ones. Haleh, thank you so much for being here. So now we'll work. Look, I'm thinking of ways to get some of your insights into some of my other events. And I do an event about domestic violence, what we call it narcissism, and let's beat toxic relationships. So I might call you for that. Let me talk to my co-host.
That's my biggest. That's my biggest mission for the domestic violence, and it's huge. It's a huge part of me because I've seen people lose their lives, and it's and since I experienced that, I come from a space that I want to be of service to that domestic
excellent.
violence.
We're working on a group book, so hopefully you'll be part of that as well. I say that for sure. Dr. Roxana, welcome. Never too late, Dr. Roxana. You're my YouTube already, so please, if you have to watch a replay, feel free, right? Let me thank all of you, especially you, Haleh, for spending your time with us. We'll get to meet you again. Ashley, George, Lisa, all the people who spent your time with us. I appreciate all of you. Not that I can find my list now. I can't find my list because there's no list on here, right? But thank you so much, everyone. Look, now do join us again. My next show is on Friday. I get to work tomorrow. Yay! Look, so I'll put Haleh's links in the comments. Well, I'll catch up with her later and put some links in the comments. I said, do go along and let's build our community. With more people, more new people as well. I thank you all, my friends. Enjoy your Thursday. If you got any events, let me know. I'll come along. Right? Bye, everyone. Bye, Haleh. Take care.
Bye. Thank you so much.
She's success with Global.Media.com and celebrating with or without champagne or rum. She's success with Global.Media.